we are already on. And glad I'm ready. So this mug just popped on while I was putting it up. Recording. Now, greetings, family, friends, or should I say, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael, Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Sabbath day? Today is March 2nd, 2026. March 2nd, I'm sorry, May 2nd. I said March. I'm thinking of M's. This is May 2nd, 2026. This is May 2nd, the second day in May, 2026. And we got my sister Nicole Bell on with us tonight. Today, I'm still in the nights. Today, and today we're going to be speaking out of 1 Kings chapter 18. 1 Kings chapter 18, we're going to be speaking out of today. But right now, we get ready to do the prayer. And we're going to do the prayer. And then from there, we're going to go into the commandments, which is in Exodus chapter 21. I'm sorry, Exodus chapter 20. Where is my mind going? Exodus chapter 20. And then we're going to give the reasons why we have prophets. And that's in Deuteronomy chapter 18. So we're going to go from there, and we're going to share all these points of views before we go into 1 Kings chapter 18. All right? Sorry about that, Nicole. I pushed start before while I was putting it up, and so I had to start everything else. But we're going to get back in that conversation, though. But other than that, we're going to say the prayer, get ready to get started. We'd like to thank everybody for being here on another beautiful Sabbath day. This is the Assembly of the Righteous. Assembly of the Righteous, we hear every Sabbath at 12 p.m., which is at noonday, which is the beginning of the evening. The beginning of the evening is 12 p.m. noon. So, excuse me. Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, which is the spirit, and in your way. We ask you to keep your armor protection on us, help us in every way, and clothe us with your armor protection at all times. We ask you to forgive us, our ancestors, and our forefathers for transgressing against you and transgressing against the law. We have transgressed against you, and you've also transgressed against us because we have transgressed against you. We ask you to forgive us of all the things that we have done in time past, lead us into the light, and also let us retain your knowledge and your information and your law, that we may hear it and do it. We ask you to help us understand and know the blessings you have given us throughout the scriptures and throughout the book, and the curses you have given to us in the scriptures and throughout the book from your one chapter, which is Deuteronomy 18, Deuteronomy 28. From your one chapter, Deuteronomy 28, verse, the blessings, which is in verse 1 through 14, and the curses in 15 through 68. Allow us to know them, understand them as we grow in them, so we may not do the things according that we should not do according to you, and the things we need to do for to come close to you. We ask you to help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise you Almighty. Praise you Almighty. Thank you, Father. All righty. Everybody, hope everything is going well. We just did the prayer. Now we're going to go into the scriptures. We're going to the voice of Yah. A lot of people don't recognize the voice of the Almighty. A lot of people recognize the voice of man. What do I mean by that? When the Creator speaks, he speaks through his prophets. And his prophets will tell you, thus saith the Creator, thus saith Yah, thus saith the Lord. However you think, if y'all think just saying, thus say Yahweh, or however y'all want to say, we still understand and know what he meant, what was meant. So a lot of people try to make excuses by and saying Lord and stuff like that, but you understand what's going on and you understand what's being said. So right now we're at the position to understand what's being said by what's being said, no matter if they put Lord there, Yah, Yahweh, or what have you. You know what's being said. So right now we're at Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. These are the words from Yah, the Almighty himself, all right, speaking through his prophet Moses, from as we come to know, and it states, the Ten Commandments. And Yah spake all these words, saying, I am Yah thy father, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. First commandment, thou shalt have no other deities, gods, before me. All right. Second commandment, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything. A lot of people think it's talking about graven image at all in all time. This talking about any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah thy father, am a jealous father, visiting the iniquity, the ignorance of the fathers, I like to say, of the parents, upon the children that they teach. Unto the third, which is the Greek, and the fourth, which is the Roman, generation of them that hate me. And showing mercy, which is grace, unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. But it's a key here that people fail to realize. It says, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. And that's no matter what. People are making excuses to bow to Yahshua. But what did the Creator say? Anything in heaven above, earth beneath, or waters on the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. Period. For I, thy father, am a jealous father, visiting the iniquities upon the fathers or the parents, upon the children, unto the third, which is the Greeks, and the fourth, which is the Roman, generation, world power of them that hate me. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Third commandment, thou shalt not take the name of Yah thy father in vain, which is his law. For Yah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name, which is the law, in vain. Fourth commandment, remember the Sabbath day to keep it hallowed, which is set aside. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yah thy father. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. All right. Fifth commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long, which is your elders. Your father and your mother are actually your elders. A lot of people looking for just the father and just the mother, but you honor your father and your mother, which is your elders of your community and the elders of the people in general. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yah thy father giveth thee, because they give you sound wisdom. They give you information to understand, to know. That's why you honor them. Now, the ignorant, I ain't going to say don't honor them, but you don't have to pay attention to them neither. The ignorant old folks, you know what I'm saying? Ignorant older people. But the ones that we honor is the ones that's giving you sound wisdom. Fifth commandment, or shall I say sixth commandment, thou shalt not murder, which is if you take a life without a cause. If you take a life without a cause, that's actually murder. If you killing something for a cause, that's just you're killing for a purpose. When you take life without a cause, that's taking life, that's murdering. So it's actually thou shalt not murder instead of thou shalt not kill in Hebrew. Seventh commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery, meaning that a man that has a woman or women should not lay down with another man's woman. And the women that belongs to a man, woman or women that belongs to a man, should not lay down with any other man, period, because you've already allowed someone to come into your home, which is your vessel. All right? And that's where the Creator dwells. So you got to have a clean vessel by where you are and who you are, by keeping ourselves up. Eighth commandment, thou shalt not steal. And we know what stealing is, taking other people's property. Anything that don't belong to you, and put it like that. Ninth commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And as I always share, a false witness who does this all the time are prosecutors, lawyers, and attorneys. They bear false witness all the time because they're telling the story they wasn't there to see. Only the people should be speaking is the ones that was there at the time to know what happened, and the witnesses as well. So, 10th and last commandment, that the Creator spoke from his voice to the children of Israel in their wilderness at that time. And it states, thou shalt not covet, which is want thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet, which is want thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Anything that belongs to someone else, you should not want that. Go get your own, work for it, or ask. If a person wants to give it to you, they may want to give it to you. But you should not want as in wanting it to take it or to steal it, what have you. Work for your own and go get something that's made like it. Mucus coming up. Now comes the point of prophets. This is the first point where the people said, they don't realize they was asking for prophets, but a lot of people try to read too much in it and they can't see the facts of what's being said. That's why it's always good to get knowledge, get wisdom, but in all thy getting, get an understanding. Why? Because understanding will keep thee. Whether you want to understand, overstand, or understand. The key is getting an understanding. A lot of people read stuff, they read so much into it, they don't get an understanding of what's being said. So, the people's fear. This is verse 18. Exodus 20, right after the commandment, after the Creator spoke, this is the people's fear. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountains smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. The people ran. They stood afar off because the thunder and lightning was going on. And when you know the voice of the Father, which is like thunder and lightning, you in the house, as I always share, when you're in the household and the thunder and lightning going on outside, you know how scary that is. So they was outside in the open field. So the people ran and stood afar off. And then they said unto Moses, verse 19, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Yah speak with us, lest we die. They were scared. See, a lot of people read this book and they just look at it as, okay, they just saying it. But you got to put yourself in there and understanding where they were, what was what was going on, and understanding what was happening at the time. If you understand how thunder and lightning is, you'll understand that the people was asking Moses to talk to them. Don't let Creator talk to us lest we die. Moses, you speak to us. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Yah is come to prove you. What he's coming to prove? And that his fear, he's going to prove you that his fear may be before your faces, that ye or that you sin not, that you do not sin. That's why he's coming to prove to you. But his proof is what you do. That's what the proof is in. It's what you do. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where Yah was. All right. So that was what happened at that time. And then we're in Deuteronomy chapter 18, starting at verse 15, which is the promised prophet. Now, here, the people look at A, and it's talking about a prophet in its time. People have no understanding, as I was sharing with you. They look at this, they thinking the only prophet it's talking about is Yeshua, that people call Jesus, that the Council of Nicaea gave to the world at the time. Council of Nicaea did it. But people have no understanding because they don't understand history, don't understand the things that has been placed out by the word of Yah. Because he said that if you don't keep my law, I'm going to send you in a land that ye know not. There you're going to serve other gods, wood and stone, gods your fathers haven't known. The Creator said it, it's going to happen. And this is what people fail to realize. So right now, this is a promised prophet in verse 15 in Deuteronomy 18. 18 verse 15 states, and Yah thy father will raise up unto thee a prophet. Now people look at that A and that's what they stick on. But they don't have an understanding it's a prophet in this time. All the prophets in the Old Testament, the Creator rose up. But they were no, Jesus or Yeshua was a specific prophet. He did no different than the others. He did this, he did that. Who said he did it? Those words that was put there was put there. Those weren't his words. He didn't write those words. Y'all don't, a lot of people don't get that neither. Those words put there in the place like he wrote it. Your key is Luke. Luke never even met him, but you got a whole book of Luke that's telling the story like he said it. But let's keep it moving. Yah thy father will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. See? Well, no, I ain't going to go off into that because of old conversation. Unto him ye shall hearken. 16. According to all that thou desirest of Yah thy father in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, this was the day that we was just talking about. That was the day of the assembly that the Creator was talking to everybody. Let me not hear again the voice of Yah my father, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. This is what the people told Moses, and we just read it in Deuteronomy, Exodus 20, verse 19. Now we over here in Deuteronomy 18 going over the same thing that was spoken. So verse 17 right here in Deuteronomy 18 states, and Yah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I, who said this? The Creator. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren. And I like to add, I'm not adding anything to the word, but I'm adding for understanding. A prophet in this time. Because we can see all the prophets from my website, from Joshua, after Joshua, on through the rest of the book. How many prophets the Creator rose up? Or how many servants the Creator rose up that did works. But the prophet is the one that spoke, thus says the Lord, thus saith Yah, thus say Yahweh, however you want to call him. But you know we talking about the Creator. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. Them. He gonna speak to all the people, or that I should command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, is the key. In my name, which is in the name of Yah, through his word, through his voice, I will require it of him. Verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, in the name of the Almighty, which I have not commanded him to speak, you see, or that shall speak in the name of other deities, other gods. Yeshua being the main one of today. Yeshua and also Jesus. That's the one of today. All right. What's up, Eric? How you doing over there, brother Eric Cook? Good to see you over there on Facebook. Glad you're here, bro. Even that prophet shall die. 21. And if thou say in thine heart, How shall we know the word which Yah have not spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of Yah, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yah have not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. So the key is, which people in the world fail to realize, there was a prophet that did arise, that the Creator rose, but there were many prophets that the Creator rose up to do his will. Like unto Moses, meaning that a prophet is someone that the Creator spoke spoke through, to be an ambassador to speak to the people. Some people think you had to be what they call it, had to do a miracle to be like Moses. The fact that any prophet rose, that the Creator rose them up and spoke in his name, that's the key. But we got a lot of people out here that's still in idolatry and they don't even realize it. So we're in we're in 1 Kings chapter 18, but we always do a recap. So before we go on to the message of the day, which is 1 Kings chapter 18, we're going to visit chapter 17, which we spoke out of last week. So Elijah predicts drought. Okay, this is when Elijah first came on the scene. Elijah first popped on the scene out of since we started reading each week, starting at 1 Samuel, we've been coming through, and then every so often certain people pop up on the scene. Now, chapter 17, Elijah just said, boom, he just came up and he predicts a drought. Now, Elijah did the same thing with what we just read. We just got through reading about the Creator said, I will raise upon you a prophet from the midst of thee. Elijah he prophesied there wasn't going to be no rain. And there wasn't no rain for a long period of time. The Creator told Elijah to go and stick bathe by the brook. What brook was that? Cherith. That's in verse 2. Cherith. That is before Jordan. He told him to go sit at the brook of Cherith before Jordan. And there he's going to be fed by, I think it was a crow? Was it a crow or a raven? Let me see. Yeah, and it was raven. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening. And he drank of the brook. So that's why he mainly lived at the brook until it dried up. So, but this is no different. He did the same thing here with what Moses was doing. He spoke and said it wasn't going to be no rain. He prophesied and said there would be no rain. He said, matter of fact, the key is this. He said, and he spoke in the name of Yah. Let me read verse 1 for you. It says, and Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, as Yah of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. The Creator was talking through him. He said, through your word is when it's going to rain. The Creator talked to him and he gave the word. Elisha stopped it from raining. Elijah stopped it. He didn't stop it. The Creator stopped it and had him speak it. Then after that, he got fed by ravens. You see, he got fed by ravens and he was drinking out of a certain brook over there by Jordan. So after that, he went to this widow. Now, you know what caught me in this story? I'm going to share something with you. It was something that she said in this story that stood out because first, the Creator said that he set up a widow to sustain him. The Creator told her, said, and the word of Yah, this is verse 8, and the word of Yah came to him, saying, arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. Now, he commanded her, but it looked like she didn't know. Because when he got there, he ordered her to do something. She did what he wanted to do, but she thought she was about to die. But he sustained her and should I say them, her, the son, and the boy, and him with meal and with oil for a long period of time. Now, check this out. When you read, I'm gonna have y'all read. I'm not gonna go all the way through. I'm just sharing points of view. Now, that sustained them right for a long period of time. And verse 14 says, "For thus saith Yah of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, until the day that Yah sendeth rain upon the earth." So he was at the brook until it dried up. Then he told him to go over there with them. And she she had went and made cakes for him, being obedient. I'm gonna say it like I'm saying, being obedient, like he asked her to do something, being obedient, and that doesn't mean she bowed to him like, okay, master, just being obedient to the word of what he said. She went and did that. Then it came a point when the widow's son passed, and this is what I was getting at. When he passed, and he had no air in him, Elijah went and took him up to his room where they were staying at, laid on the boy, and brought the boy back to life. And then she said this, and the woman said to Elijah, now this is the key. This is what I want everybody to understand. And the woman said to Elijah, verse 24, the last verse in verse 17, in chapter 17, it says, and the woman said to Elijah, now by this, key words, now by this I know that thou art a man of God, and that the word of Yah is in thy mouth. The word in thy mouth is truth. Now let me share with you my point of view, the reason why she said that. This is my point of view, and I'm going to share with you. I'll go ahead and see if I can. I want to make this, there we go. I want to make this too dark. I want to make sure this stands out. So I'm going to put this in yellow and purple over the yellow. Now, see, remember, if y'all remember, up in not just Samaria, but throughout the land of, because I come to understand Samaria is one small city out of the 10 tribes. See, they talk about Samaria so much, you'd think Samaria was the full land of the northern kingdoms, the 10 tribes. But Samaria was bought by, what was his name? Let me get it for you. What was his name? Hold on, I'm gonna get it for you real quick. Omri, Omri. He bought a hill, which we could say a mountain or what have you, but it was a hill that he bought, and he named it after, what was his name? He named it after Shamir. This is in chapter 16. He named it after Shamir, which was the owner of the hill, and he called it Samaria. So now when we hear Samaria, we think we talking about all the tribes. That's just one Amir, I guess his name is. He built a city on top of that hill, and he called it Samaria. One city out of the 10 tribes in the north, because remember, in Judah, it was Benjamin and Judah. So when you hear Samaria, it's only a city where the kings dwelt at. So when they said Samaria, it was Samaria where the kings dwelt in the northern kingdoms. I'm putting it like that, in the northern kingdoms. So, but we have to get understanding with the information that we have. So by this happening, a lot of time we hear Samaria, our minds think that we talking about all 10 kingdoms. No, he was the king over all 10 kingdoms, but the king would live in Samaria. So that was the main place that the king would be there, just like David, or should I say the rest of the kings that was in Judah was in Judah. You know Judah, but you know they're talking about Judah and Benjamin that he was over. So, but the key here is, the reason why I went there is because Ahab had hundreds, I'm going to say hundreds, at least I think 200 or how many, he had hundreds of priests and people that I think he called prophets, remember? But by here she said, and now the woman said to Elijah, now by this I know that thou art a man of Yah, and that the word of Yah in thy mouth is true. Why? Because he brought back to someone that was supposed to be gone, that was supposed to be deceased. He put him dead. The boy came back to life. She knew he was gone. The breath was gone from him. He went upstairs. He laid on the boy, asked the creator to bring breath into him. The breath came back into the boy. She said, now, by this, I know who you are. Now, I'm only saying this because even though he did the miracle with them sustaining with bread and stuff and oil and everything, even though he did that at first, it wasn't until the miracle until he brought the boy back to life. Now, everybody think Jesus the only one did that. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about Yahshua being the only one that did that? When Zechariah came out, he said, come forth. What did he do with the boy? Still, life came about. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody's putting so much into something that they don't understand. You got examples right here in the law and in the history and in the law. Now we're getting ready to get into chapter 18. We got to start. This is how you prove information. That's chapter 17. Chapter 18. 1 Kings chapter 18. Let's get busy. 1 Kings chapter 18. Elijah returns to Ahab. Now he's returning to Ahab. Here we go. Elijah returned to Ahab. 18:1. And it came to pass after many days, okay? After many days that the word of Yah came to Elijah in the 3rd year. You see that? In the 3rd year. Saying, go show thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon him. In 3 years, so it was 3 years before he brought rain back on the earth. It was 3 years. 3 years is a long time. In the 3rd year. And it came to pass, after many days, that the word of Yah, and you know what? That's another thing I want to say. I know people that act like the creator talked to them every moment. Oh, God told me this. God said this. God said that. Oh, yeah, he talked to me. He did. It specifically right here shows you. And it came to pass after many days that the word of Yah came to Elijah. The creator don't talk to people like everybody talk to people, like we talk to each other. He give you time to live your life and do what you're going to do, but when he give you a word, he wants it to be done. So you got a life to live that he allows you to live, but if you are a prophet or someone that the creator has made a servant, when he calls, you answer. That's just like the army. You go home, they give you your leave day, you go in and you spend time with your family, you go and do whatever you got to do. But when it's time to go to war, when they call, you answer. Why? Because you sold yourself to them when you signed the contract. That's why. A lot of people don't even realize that. They think they can do what they want to do. You sold your soul to the army once you signed that contract to go. That's why they can do what they want to do to you when you go. When they tell you get out there, go out there and face them bullets. When they shooting, go. You got to go. You got to do what they say do. People don't realize that. When they tell you, you gotta beat to their drum. You ain't about your own drum no more. Even people try to feel that way, but they don't realize it. But let's get back over here. When the creator call, you go. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you, baby. So, verse 2. And Elijah went to show himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine. And see there? A famine. That's one of the creator's swords. And this is what I mean. This is how you get to know the creator. You got to know his word. See, you go, now I'm going to give you something to check out so y'all to understand. If you go to Ezekiel chapter 14, you will see his 4 weapons that the creator used. And when you read throughout the book, you'll know how the creator is whooping people in different times and different seasons. He used the sword, which is war. Whether it's big or small, he used the sword. That's war. He used the pestilence. The pestilence is like the coronavirus. The pestilence is a sickness. He'll use the sickness. That's two. He'll use famine, which is what we're reading right now. Famine is when there's no food, nothing to drink, no food. People are dying because there's no food to eat. Excuse me. That's famine. And number four is the noisome beast or wild beast or beast itself, just animals. Animals. Those are four sword judgment, and you'll find that in Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 12 through 23. This is what I mean by studying and researching for understanding. Now, again, and Elisha went to show himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria. A sore famine. See, a sore famine in that city. We don't know what was going on around, but we do know in Samaria it was a sore famine going on. Trying to see if I want to make that out of something else, but it's good. A sore famine in Samaria. Number three, and Ahab called Obadiah. Y'all remember the book Obadiah? I don't know if it's the same person, but we do have a book Obadiah. And Ahab called Obadiah. Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. No, it wasn't that Obadiah then. But check this out. And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now, Obadiah feared Yah greatly. You see that? Now, Obadiah feared Yah greatly, for it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets. You see that? See what she did? When Jezebel cut off the prophets of Yah, that Obadiah took 100 prophets. He took 100. And hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. See there? See what he did? This right here. See, he had a head on his shoulder. See, and this is another thing I want to share, is that even though a lot of the people in Samaria, or that was in the northern kingdom, everybody wasn't evil, as we can see here. Everybody was not evil. See, when the Father does certain things, it happens because people are not doing what they're supposed to do. But he said the ones that does his will, they're not begging bread and they're not going through hardship. You might as well. I'm just paraphrasing. The ones that doing the creative will they don't go through hard times. They're spared, right? They are the ones who are spared because they're doing his will. As we can see, Obadiah, he feared Yah. So he hid the prophets, the real prophets of Yah, not no fake prophets, or like you said, for it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets, those are the prophets of Yah, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in the cave and fed them with bread and with bread and water. Verse 5. Now, and Ahab said to Obadiah, go into the land unto all fountains of water, and unto all brooks, pre-adventure, we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive, that we lose not all the beasts. See that? When the Creator whoops you, He whoops everybody. He whoops. When He say the land, He's talking about everybody and everything that's on the land. But He still saved those alive and give those His servants and those that's doing His will. He preserved them. So Ahab told him to go into the land, into all unto all fountains of water, and unto all brooks. Peradventure we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive, that we lose not all the beasts. So they divided the land between them to pass throughout it. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. Now Ahab was the king. Ahab was the king. He went one way, and Obadiah went another way. He was the governor as well. Obadiah was the governor. And as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah met him, and he knew him and fell on his face and said, Art thou that my Lord Elijah? See that? He recognized him. And see, a lot of people don't realize as well. Let me share this, because we got a big conversation last week about this situation, about bowing to a man. A lot of people think it's all right to bow to Jesus. Jesus been come and gone. Elijah and all the other prophets didn't come. I ain't gonna say Jesus, Yeshua, whoever, Yeshua or what have you. When you're bowing to that prophet or that man of Yah at the time, you're bowing to the Creator, right? You're recognizing the Creator through that individual. But people think that you're recognizing the individual. This is the difference that people don't understand. See, a lot of people, they read so deep into stuff, they're looking at the physical and they're not looking at the spiritual. And this is the problem with the world today. The world is so physical, just like right now, we got people arguing over a name. People call him Yeshua, Yahuwah, Yah, all these different whatever name. I'm not Yeshua, Yahuwah, El and Adonai and they, well, these are powers, and El, I mean, they so deep they can't see. You know how there's an old saying, they say, you so smart, you dumb. You know that old saying? People are so smart, they're dumb. They're educated fools. Man, that came out. Yeah, we got many educated fools. They're so smart, they dumb. They can't see the obvious in what's going on because they're so far beyond what's actually being said. That's why it's good to get an understanding. See, all the people that came in the name of Yah, they're not bowing to the individual, they're bowing to the spirit that's in the individual, which is the Creator that's speaking to them. But people want to say, well, you bow to David, well, I'm going to bow to. People still bowing today to a dead man. A man that's dead that came and gone. The spirit is moving on. The spirit is moving on. But the people don't get it. They're bowing to just the fact that in the name of Yahuwah, Yeshua, and the Son of God, the Father said that He's there alone. Don't call on any other God. Don't put no other God before me. That means anything you speak on, when you say besides the Creator, when you say when we pray to the Creator, whatever, to Yah and Yah this and Yah that and God this and God that, in the name of, you just put another God right there with the Creator. A lot of people don't get it. In the name of Yeshua, dead and gone. Anybody that's supposed to be bowing to Him, if they was bowing to Him, should be right in their face and say, thank you, Father, because I know that the Creator is within you. Some people are like, well, they did it then. Why can't I do it? Yeshua ain't here. We're just reading the words that the Creator, what about all the words we reading right now through Elijah. We're reading word right now. We're not bowing to Elijah. We're not bowing to Moses, but people are still bowing to Jesus and to Yeshua and whoever you want to call, Prophet Muhammad. This is where the world don't realize that they are actually in idolatry. They can't even see it. The creator spirit still lives on and is all around us. You bow to the creator and creator only. But hey, people do what they want to do. I'm only here to give you the information that you see better, because I know a lot of people glasses is foggy. I'm trying to get you to see. But hey, again, verse 8, verse 7. And as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah met him, and he knew him and fell on his face. He knew him and fell on his face. Why did he fall on his face? Being obedient and being not obedient, but he's being I almost say obstinate, but he's being respectable to the spirit within the prophet, and said, "Art thou my Lord Elijah?" And see, people get crazy over Lord, Yah, God, and all, and just don't get an understanding of what's being said. And they get bent out of shape. And they don't even get an understanding of what's being said here. People go so deep into stuff that really don't have to go that deep in, and it's showing you what's being said. And the key is getting an understanding. Verse 8. And he answered him, I am. You see, he just said, I am. Go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. Behold, Elijah is here. You might well say, behold, the Almighty is here through Elijah. See what I'm saying? Elijah is here. Verse 9. And he said, what have I sinned that thou wouldest deliver thy servant into the hand of Ahab to slay me? See, you know, if he go say Elijah, he gonna probably want to kill him. And he said, what have I sinned? What have I sinned that excuse me. Okay, we got the Psalms back on. First Sabbath of the month. And he said, what have I sinned? What have I sinned that thou wouldest deliver thy servant into the hand of Ahab to slay me? He's asking the question. Have I sinned to slay me? As Yah thy father liveth, there is no nation or kingdom. Okay. As Yah thy father liveth, there is no nation or kingdom, whether my Lord have not sent to seek thee. So he's not, wait a minute. As Yah thy father liveth, there is no nation or kingdom, whether my Lord, well, I guess that's Ahab, have not sent to seek thee. And when they said he is not there, he took an oath of the kingdom and nation that they found thee not. Meaning that what it is they looking for him, they couldn't find him. Hold on. As Yah thy father liveth, there is no nation or kingdom, whether my Lord has not sent to seek thee. I mean, he had everybody seeking for Elijah. And when they said he is not there, he took an oath of the kingdom and nation that they found thee not. So they took an oath when they found the person that came to Ahab and said, they took an oath, said they didn't find him. They didn't find him. They took an oath. Where is it? He is not there. They took an oath right there. He took an oath when they looked for him. They took an oath of the kingdom and the nation that they found thee not. And now thou sayest, go tell my Lord, thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And now you telling me to go tell him that he's here? He gonna kill me. Nobody can find you. we go. And it shall come to pass. Okay, here we go. And it shall come to pass, verse 12, as soon as I am gone from thee, that the Spirit. Okay, my baby coming in. Hold on. And it shall come to pass. Thanks for joining us, baby. Miss Joe. And it shall come to pass, as soon when 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 12 now. And it shall come to pass, as soon as I am gone from thee, that the Spirit of Yah shall carry thee whither I know not. And so when I come and tell Ahab, and he cannot find thee, he shall slay me, but I, thy servant, fear Yah from my youth. Now he was letting him know, I fear Yah from my youth. This is Obadiah. 12 again, 11 and 12 again. And now thou sayest, go and tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And it shall come to pass, as soon as I am gone from thee, that the Spirit of Yah shall carry thee whither I know not. Now I don't know who's speaking right here at this point. It might be Elijah, or it might be Obadiah. And so when I come and tell Ahab, okay, this talking about Obadiah, and he cannot find thee. So when he go and tell him that he's here, and when I go tell Ahab and he can't find you, he shall slay me. But I say, but I thy servant fear Yah from my youth. 13. Was it not told my Lord what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of Yah, how I hid 100 men of Yah, of Yah's prophet? 100 men of Yah's prophets by 50 in a cave? In a cave. And fed them with bread and water. And now thou sayest, go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah here. Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. See what I'm looking at before. Good. I got some time on me. And he shall slay me. Right? That's verse 14. Obadiah talking, boy. And I don't blame him. Because he know what's going to happen, even though that he feared the Creator. And even though he feared the Creator, he's in the house of Ahab, which is the king. He's the governor. Elijah reproves Ahab. Go ahead and hit this again. 13. Was it not told, my Lord, what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets, how I hid 100 men of Yah's prophets by 50 in a cave, and fed them with bread and water? And now thou sayest, go, tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. Elijah reproves Ahab. Here we go, verse 15. And Elijah said, as Yah of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, I will surely show myself unto. Here we go. It's Elijah telling him, I'm going to show myself to him. Because the Creator told him to go. I will show myself unto him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. Okay. So Ahab went to go meet him. Verse 17. And it came to pass, when Ahab, y'all got to understand, came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? You see that? And why did he say that? Because he was a prophet come and tell all the things against Israel, because Israel kept going against the law according to their king. Their king, Israel, was going by whatever the kings was doing at the time, and the kings was evil in the sight of the Creator. But you got to remember, no different than the country that you're living in. If they take, perfect example, which a lot of people don't want to accept, but you got to look at it. Who was pushing for abortions? Who was pushing for gay marriages? Who was pushing for all the abominable things against the Creator? Think about what I'm saying. Who was pushing for all this stuff? The president, not gonna say not Trump, because Trump was straightening that stuff out. But Biden, Obama, what's her name? What's that cackling witch name? The one that was about to trying to become president? Harris, what's her name? Kamala Harris. They was pushed for all gay. They are the ones that were pushing the people to do what they were doing. And look how many people in this country was going for it. Look at it. How many people in this country was going for the gayism, for the same-sex marriage and all that? How many people was going and pushing that? Same thing right here in the book. See, Ahab is no different than Obama, Biden, Kamala, and anybody else that was doing evil in the sight of the Creator. Now Trump has come and he's turning things back around. There's only two genders, man and woman. There's only two. One gender for each. It's only a man or it's a woman. Either or. You ain't no other stuff. All that other stuff is out the door. See, he's putting things in order, but people can't see. Why? Because they're influenced by the system. They're influenced by the media. You got to understand what's going on. You can see it right here in the book. Thank you, Father, for letting me make that. Was the perfect example. I didn't have to make nothing to go out the way for people to get an understanding. And if you can't see that, something wrong with you. So, again, so Obadiah went to meet Ahab, verse 16, and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou, Ahab, the trouble of Israel. You don't trouble Israel. You're the one who's troubling Israel. You're the one who's troubling Israel. Don't even realize it. Why? Because he's doing the thing that's abominable in the sight of Yah. I should do that in pink. And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the... Bam! Come on now. And that's just what I'm saying. You see how it came out? And he said, he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of Yah, and has followed after Balaam. Now therefore sin, and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal for Baal 450. There you go, 450. Here we go. This is a lot. Here come the yeah, this get ready to get good, y'all. See all this stuff right here that went on, but people give Jesus all the praise. When did Jesus or Yahshua make fire come down from heaven? Not him themselves, but when did the Creator use the prophet, let me put it like that, in order for him to show himself by making fire come down from heaven? In those days. Jesus never did that. Neither did Yahshua. See what I'm saying? They give the man in the New Testament all kind of praise, but they can't see none of the stuff that's going on right here. Now, I'll tell you, I do believe a prophet did come. I would tell you, yeah, I believe a prophet came, but he was no different than all the rest of the prophets. But people look over all this. This is what I mean by people are in idolatry and they can't even see themselves in idolatry. 17, 18, boy, now it's getting hot now. Now, The flames is being in the when I say the flames, I'm talking about the flames that's burning out this Christianity stuff. See, people that they call themselves transferring into being a Hebrew Israelite, but don't even realize they're still in idolatry in Christianity. They got two halves. They trying to live the double life. You can't live both lives, either one or the other. You're still a Christian if you still believe in a Messiah in the New Testament, because all of them were Messiahs. All the prophets was Messiahs. People don't, and this is hard getting through the brains and the skulls of these people. It's hard getting through them. Matter of fact, yeah. Yep. So we're gonna this last bit for part one. We're gonna come back with part two. But before we move on, at this point, before we move on, I just want to share. I'm just sharing at this point that people can't see right here all the miracles that was going on right here. All these false prophets that people don't even realize that they are in idolatry today. They can't see. They don't choose to research. They don't choose to see. They're only going by what's been taught to them by the Roman Empire that has given them the Jesus and the Yeshua that they have today. All you did is just change the name and change the color to the prophet in the New Testament because the story has been modified. Y'all don't know how true that story in the New Testament is. And everything in the New Testament, I'm just on this right now because I'm showing you right now facts. I'm showing you facts. I'm showing you facts in the Word. Same word y'all read and read in the New Testament. I'm showing you right here according to the word of Yah through his prophet and the things that his prophets did. But they give all the praises to one man in the New Testament. They in idolatry and don't even know it. They can't even see it. That's the sad part about it. And they choose to stay blind because they don't want to go back here. What we showing right here is factual. But hey, come on, Joanne and Sister Nicole, give me y'all point of view because we got a little time on this. Give me y'all point of view of what we just read about some of the things I'm sharing and what your thoughts are on some of the things that we see at this point in time compared to what the world thinks. Or what did you get out of it mainly?
Go ahead. I just got here, baby.
Okay. But did you get a chance to even hear the last bit of what I just read?
Yeah.
What did you hear compared to anything I spoke on?
Well, from hearing you upstairs while I was in the kitchen, you were talking about the land that the brother Omri bought, which was what land was that again?
It was a hill that he brought from this guy named Shamar, and he called it Samaria. Oh. That's where Samaria come from. It was a city built on a hill, and they named it Samaria. And in Samaria is where the kings of the 10 tribes stayed. The kings of the tribe there. So every time they spoke on Samaria, it mainly was talking about the area that the kings of the kings of the northern hemisphere, should I say, the kings of Israel stayed in Samaria.
So all the kings of the 10 tribes, that's where they all stayed?
That's where they start after Omri, right here in verse in 16 verse 24, it says, and he bought the hill Samaria of Shamir for 2 talents of silver, and burnt and built on the hill, and called the name of the city which he built after the name of Shamir, owner of the hill Samaria. This is where, and Omri, that's where because he was the king at that time.
Oh, okay.
He was the king.
Like he purchased that for the kings?
No, he purchased it for 2 talents of silver, and then he built a city on it. When he built the city, this is where Samaria is now. So now, from this point on, we always hear about Samaria because this is where the king. Just like the White House is in Washington, quote unquote, D.C. So even though the White House sits in Washington, D.C., Even though over all America, Washington is where the president stays at, but he's the president over all 50 or 51 states. Some people
Mm-hmm.
say 51, there's 50 to 51, how many you want to call it. But the point is, he's president over all the states, but yet still he resides in Washington, D.C.
Oh, so every king that come into power would reside there.
Just like they is in Washington.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That was my curiosity about why he purchased that
Well,
property.
I don't know. I don't know. He just said they just said he purchased it for 2 tons of silver, and then he built the city there. When he built the city there, then this is where the king stayed, because after he stayed there, all the rest it's just like Washington D.C. This is where the White House is at. So this is where all the presidents go when they go there. They stay in the White House.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Hmm.
and it's just understanding.
Yeah.
I told you when we look at the book, it represents what we're living in today. We just got to understand it for what it is.
Absolutely.
So that's all you got so far when you from what you heard.
Well, that's the part that piqued my curiosity.
Okay.
Why would be why he purchased the land? Because I when coming up the stairs, you were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I stood there for a second to try to grasp the attention of it, but you
Mm.
moved on right when I came up. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why I was wondering about the purchase of the land.
Yep. Just like every time you hear about when they talk about Washington D.C., they talk about well this and that is in Washington, this and that in Washington D.C., Washington D.C., this and
Right.
that. Excuse me. But there you go. Even though stuff happened in Detroit, stuff happened in Chicago, stuff happened in Georgia, stuff happened in Atlanta, or should I say in L.A., stuff happened in other Washington. It all boils down to back where the president is at and where the person head in charge is at. That's where everything
So,
resides at.
so would it be fair to say that um, Samaria or Shamar would be the headquarters of the 10 tribes?
Yeah,
Is
you
it fair to
go.
say?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. That would be the headquarters for the president. That would be the
Mm-hmm.
head where everybody would go, just like in Judah, wherever there are in Judah. Judah is the main place for the two southern tribes, which is Benjamin and Judah.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Because you had two kings now. You had one in the northern and one in the southern.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Interesting.
Yep. Just putting things in place.
Yeah, that's good.
So, Sister Nicole, what you got to say, or unless you good, because we're going to ready to move on to part two in a few moments. I guess she might not be there. She must have fell off. So, we get ready to go for on DM, because you know she going to come in and say something. She ain't in yet. You know, something must be going on, or either she there or she may be away. So, what we're going to do is we stopped at First Kings chapter 18, verse 18. 18:18. Deuteronomy 18:15, though. But hey, look at that. So right now we're gonna pause it right here. And other than that, I'd just like to share with you that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because your horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. So just wanted to share that real quick. We're going to pause Zoom real quick so we can move on to part two. So we're going to pause you. You're going to, even though you're the long version. So we're going to pause you. We'll be right back as we say bye to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So we'll be right back. And peace. Recording stopped. And for Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, just wanted to share with you that we're here on Tuesdays for right now. This Tuesday is the last Tuesday that we're going to be here for Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge. Throughout the week, we get ready to start doing every last Tuesday of the month. Every last Tuesday of the month, we're going to be here at 7:30 a.m. or at 9 p.m. every last Tuesday of the month. And then once we start growing with people that's really being serious or that is ready to move to Freedom Class of Knowledge, because introduction is on Tuesday, Freedom Class of Knowledge, Freedom Solving Class of Knowledge is on Wednesdays. As our people move into the Freedom Class, then we will be picking up back up on Tuesdays. That way everybody gets a chance. And then also you have to learn to teach, to know, to grow. So if you will, just text me your name, number, email. That's our private Zoom. But other than that, we're here on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, and on the Sabbath. That's public. We're here every week throughout those. But if you text me your name, number, and email at 770-572-5315. Again, that's 770-572-5315. Text me your name, number, email, and say that you'd like to know more about the solving classes or about the alkaline water and teas. I'll text you information on that, and I'll text and I'll email you information on our Zoom classes. I'll text and email you information on our Zoom classes, and then from that point on, you will accept the Zoom invitations, and then we'll go from there. That way I know who you are when you try to come into the classes, right? So at this time, that's on Tuesdays, and it's going to start. This will be the first Tuesday in May. We're going to be here, and then from that point on, we're going to be here every last Tuesday until more people get grow into their sovereign status. I put it like that. So we do that for now, but other than that, we also here like today. We're here on the Sabbath, which is they call Saturday, but it's the Sabbath at 12 p.m. noon, which is the beginning of the evening. That's 12 p.m. noon. We're here at 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. This is Assembly of the Righteous. Then we're here tomorrow, the night after tomorrow day, which is they call Sunday night, but it's the night after Sunday. We're here at 9 p.m. with Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. We have open conversation and talk about, bring stuff to the table, whatever y'all want to have a conversation about. We can talk about these things, get some things, just like we talking about this and whatever else we can talk about. We'll bring that to the table at that time. That'll be up to you. That's at 9 o'clock on after Sunday. Then we're here with Mikael's Knowledge of Truth on Mondays. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth the night after Monday at 9 p.m. All right? And we come with whatever the Creator bring to the forefront. That happens as well. Then we're back to when we going to do on Tuesdays once in a month, which is every last Tuesday besides this Tuesday coming up. All right? Which would be the 4th, I believe. Nope. I think Tuesday the 5th. Tomorrow's the 3rd. Monday's the 4th. Yeah, Tuesday be the 5th. So this be the last first Tuesday of the month. Then from that point on, we'll be starting at the end of every month, in the last Tuesday of each month. So just wanted to share that with you. Now, if you like to get, and again, let me give you my name, number, and email. Well, my number and my email, which is 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. You can text me your name, number, and email there, and I will send you the information for the Zoom in order to come on the Zooms, or just so you can have the information knowing when we'll come on, you'll have the notification. And or you can email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. Again, that's lkhyym@gmail.com. And that way you can email me as well. Now, those are for the Zooms. Now, for the public information, like come on with us. We're here on YouTube and on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's X, formerly known as Twitter. On YouTube and X at JuicePro33, which is spelled JUICEPRO 33, which is all together one word. You separate it. When they try to give it to you separated so you won't connect. But it's JUICEPRO 33 all together, one word, on YouTube and on X, formerly known as Twitter, if you'd like to connect with us. And you can like, subscribe, and share on YouTube as well, if you don't mind. Also, we're here on Facebook. Our Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is spelled M-I apostrophe C-H-A-E-L space H-A-R-R-I-S. Again, that's M-I apostrophe C-H-A-E-L space H-A-R-R-I-S. All right. So that's Facebook. Now, if you'd like to connect with us on Instagram and also on TikTok. My Instagram and my TikTok is Lakime underscore the juice. That's LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. All right. Now, if you like to get on my other TikTok and my other YouTube, my other TikTok and my other YouTube is Michael the Juice Harris, which is spelled all together, 4 words all together, which is MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, that's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Michael the Juice Harris. That's on my other TikTok and my other YouTube, which you can like, subscribe, and share to. And last but not least, you can connect with us on rumble.com/LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. And also patreon.com/LKHYYM. Again, that's Patreon also .com/LKHYYM. So right now we're gonna say bye to the for part 1. We'll be right back with part 2 of 1 Kings chapter 18. This is 1 Kings chapter 18, and we're getting ready to say bye over here first to Instagram. But first, let's see. My brother Eric Cook was on here, and he shared Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All glory to Yahweh. Beautiful teaching. I love it. I love it too, bro. And I'm glad you came through, bro. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you left that note. Shabbat Shalom. All glory to Yahweh. Beautiful teaching. I love it. Same here, my brother. And over here we got Whittier Bodega. Oh, my brother on Whittier Bodega. Yeah, got let's take my teas in as well. And over here on everybody going on Facebook over there. So I mean on YouTube. So we're gonna say bye first over here to you on Instagram. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. We'll be right back with part 2. This is the end of part 1 of 1 Kings chapter 18. Peace. All righty. All right. And over here on Facebook, I thank you for your time. We'll be right back with part 2. Your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Peace and love, and see you in a few moments. Peace. And over here on YouTube Live, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate love you. See you soon and always. Peace.